Okay, today I want to talk about the password board or taillight assembly that goes on the FIIDO or FIIDO, I'm not quite sure how you say it, X model. It has the seat tube battery, and what's nice about this is there's no hard connection. You can actually take your entire battery completely out without having to disconnect any wiring. The way this works is when this is installed on the bike, the blades here, the positive negative blades, slide into these channels on the battery. Okay, and then when you push this in, and then you screw it in, and it's all locked in place. As you raise or lower your seat post, you still have power, and then you got your on button here. Okay, all right. So that's how the battery works on the bike. So we're replacing this. Well, this was brought to us already completely all taken apart, and so we didn't really know where the wiring, which cable went to what. So I just want to show this for those who may have to do this. So you would take these bolts, these little screws out here, down here, and this one, and then the whole unit would come out, and they would all be wired together, and then your controller is also stuffed up into the seat tube. I'm sorry, the frame. So in order to do all this, you want to take your battery completely out. Okay, in order to get your battery completely out, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take like an Allen wrench, and you're going to have to kind of get down into where the lock is. This is bolted onto your frame inside where the seat tube is. So you have to take this out, and then you stick an Allen wrench in there, and you just push it. You would just push this back like that, and then your battery will just slide all the way completely out. Okay. All right, so when you take this assembly off, this is what I want to show folks how to make sure you're doing it the correct way. This password board, password plate, has an auxiliary power supply battery, a 10.8 volt battery. Okay, this is what the old one looks like. All right. So we were just replacing this entire unit. But if you wanted to do just the battery, you could just take these four out here, and you would unplug it and then pull it out and put a new one in. Okay. This is the main power supply coming off the battery. And if you'll notice here, the silicone, there's three wires coming out of it. Okay. You've got this one here, which is a male, and then you got this one here, which is a female. And then you've got this one here coming out, okay? And then that's going to have your control cable, okay? Your comms cable. All right, obviously that one, that one's going to go to that. These are called JST plugs. So that one's going to go to that one. That's a no-brainer. Okay, the key here is knowing that the main power supply coming out of the battery is going to go to, which is a female, it's going to go to the male, okay? And then the lock mechanism is going to go to the female. All right. All right. And now what I want to point out to you is that if you'll notice, the polarity is reverse here. Okay. The lock mechanism itself, the red is on the right here. And if you'll see, it's black on the opposite side. So they're reverse polarities here. Okay. Just something to note, because that may be confusing. You're looking at it going, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why does it? So that's the way they have it wired up. Okay. All right. So now you got your lock mechanism plugged in. This is a solenoid, a 12 volt solenoid, very basic. And you've got all that. And then you have your tail light, which is right here. You have a light coming out of the tail light. Okay. That's going to come out. And then that's going to, let me show you here. Oops. All right. Okay, so your controller cable here. All right. You've got the pigtail, the breakout here in the controller. Okay. You've got two here that are for headlight and tail light. I believe the tail light is going to go to the longer of the two coming out. Okay. So now you got your tail light, and then since we don't have it on the bike, we're not going to be able to plug the headlight in. Okay. All right. All right. So now you've got and then you got your main power leads here, okay, red and black coming off of your blades from the battery. Those come over here, and they plug into your controller as well, okay, red and black. All right, these are really easy to take apart. You just spread it out, and then it comes right out apart. Okay. All right, so that's all of the wiring on the password board or taillight assembly. That's all put together now, okay? And then your controller, let me just go over the controller here. The controller has a short cable coming out connected. That is your torque sensor, pedal assist sensor going down. And the other end of this would be in the frame. Okay, you can't get it wrong. It's black to black on this one. All right. Okay, then you've got your main motor cable. This would be plugged into the connection that's going down to the motor on the rear of the bike. All right, so you take that apart. And just so you guys all know, all of these have little arrows on them. Okay, so you got to make sure you line those arrows up. Okay, then you've got like I said, the headlight, and then you got the display. And if you'll notice, you can probably see the arrows. There's an arrow there, arrow there. The display is always green for the most part. We took the display off the handlebar just to show you guys, but there's actually from the controller in the back of the bike to the handlebar, there's an extension, a green to green extension, okay? So now your display is plugged in, okay? And that's pretty much it on your controller. There is the controller information right there, okay? C201. This is a 36 volt. Okay, so now that that's all together, then you would take your controller, you would fold it back in, and you put it into the frame, and then you would put the plastic sleeve back into the seat post. Then you put your battery down in the plastic sleeve. Super important, when you put the battery back in and the sleeve, really pay attention to none of these cables getting pinched or caught by the plastic sleeve that goes down in the seat post well, okay? I almost crimped one of the wires, but you want to just push them all to the side. Be real careful. Maybe you have to take a screwdriver or something in there just to kind of push things aside while you put the sleeve and then the battery back in, okay? And then once you get it down to a certain point, it's going to lock. It's going to go past the lock, and then it's going to be locked in place automatically, okay? Then you would take the taillight assembly, and then you would put it back in. You would redo the screws, and then you want to screw this back in. And when you screw this back in, you see the blades there? It's going to push the blades into the battery. Then you'll have your 36 volt power coming into the assembly itself. All right. Now, this actually will work without being hooked up to the battery, because we have a 10.8 volt power supply here. Okay, so the password here is 0, 3, 4. Okay, this is a default password. Now you notice that retracted. Okay, and then it will go back here in about 10 seconds or so. You'll see it pop back. Okay, and then to turn oh, there it goes. See, okay, and then to turn the supply power to the display, then you would do power, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you could go up to your display, and you would be able to push and turn your display on. Okay. All right. Hopefully that helps, and if you've got any questions, you can send them to the manufacturer, or you can ask me, see if I can help you out. Hopefully that helps anyone who has to replace one of these, which connection goes where. Take care.